Hey guys, I reached 80,000 subscribers last week, and it kind of caught me off guard because it's the quickest I've ever got 10,000 subs. So I'm a bit late, but here we are with a special video for that 10,000 milestone. So today I'm doing a little FAQ video that will hopefully be a bit more concise than the last FAQ video we did, which was us playing Rainbow while answering questions, and it was like an hour long. And it was a good video. It probably had a lot of good answers in it. If you want to go check it out, you can. So let's start with, why do you do YouTube? So the actual start of it goes all the way back to my mum suggesting it about a decade ago, because she knew a mother whose son was doing it and was paying his mortgage by doing YouTube. And this was like back when YouTube only just really started up. And I've learned from me and other YouTubers that actually back then ad revenue was so high that you could make like a living off like 30,000 subscribers. So he was probably doing alright back then, and he used to do FIFA videos. And I don't think he does YouTube anymore, but that's kind of how it began, or at least that's how the seed of the idea was put into my head. It wasn't until like a good 5 years later that I decided to actually start making videos, and that's because the economy went totally tits up, lost my job and stuff like that. So it was like, this could be something that could be very good for learning new skills and potentially turn it into like some sort of income. You know, if I could pay the mortgage with it, that would be awesome. And then what's your day-to-day job? So my normal job, and what I've spent over 10 years doing, is graphic designer. And I used to work in the Scotsman newspaper in Edinburgh, and I worked there for 7 years. And I've worked in a variety of other companies along the way as well. But for the last 2 years, I've been looking for a new job, and for over 1 year I've been working on YouTube full-time. Gonna try to see what I could build it to. But I still want to pick up a full-time graphic designer job because I'm really good at it. So will we ever play with subs? So we did actually play with subs once on a live stream, and it went a bit tits up because everyone on the enemy team started blowing themselves up. So the problem is always going to be like, you try to figure out the trolls from the fans and have a good time. And the problem is, the reason we make a lot of videos is because we're very relaxed, we're having a good time, we're just chilling out. We're not trying to be good, and we're not trying to make amazing videos or something like that. We're just playing games, and we just happen to be recording. And that's why we can play quite a lot. So playing with subs is pretty much never going to happen, because there's always some possibility of trolling. There's always some possibility of it being a real pain in the ass to set up. And there's definitely going to be disappointed people, because we might be able to play with some people, but of course some people might not even get a chance because there's a lot of people out there. And to put this into context, for instance, I have on Xbox, I've got over 1,500 followers. That means they've friended me on Xbox, but I haven't friended them back, so they're followers. And if I was to attempt to try and play with even a portion of them, it'd be extraordinarily hard. That's also why I have my Xbox set to friends only. So if you try and message me or invite me on the Xbox, it just disappears, just doesn't even get to me. And I need to have that as friends only, because otherwise I would be completely inundated with messages and invites constantly. So it is set to friends only, and friends are the only ones who can send me messages or invites. So if you are out there sending me messages, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to get them. How did you all meet? So there's me, Hawkmill, Pyrites, and Brian. And we're the kind of regulars on the channel right now. And I'm sure as time goes on, people's priorities will change. People will play less, people will play more, and we might meet new people along the way. So this is our main group at the moment. So Hawkmill is my brother, and he's like 7 years younger than me. So there's a big age difference. And I'm in my 30s, he's in his 20s. And then Pyrites is a friend of Hawkmill that he met in high school. And then Brian is a friend of Hawkmill that he met in college. So right now they're all in their 20s. Where are you from? So originally I'm from Fife, but I moved to Edinburgh about a decade ago. And then Hawkmill is originally from Fife but lives in Kinross. Pyrites is from Kinross and lives in Kinross. And then Brian was from Fife and now lives in Boston in the United States. Why do you guys play so much together? Well, I think the key to this is, and it's the key to why I can put out so much content and make so many videos, is that we used to play a lot, like probably more than we play now, Like, you know, we were back in the day, we didn't have jobs when we were younger, and we played a ton of games when we were kids. So we probably played a lot more when we were younger. So what happens now is when the guys have some free time after work, we play some games. And the reason I think we play so many games is because you don't really treat it as like we're recording videos or anything. We are literally just having fun playing games, and I just happen to be recording it. And I think a lot of commenters on YouTube really get confused. Like, they're expecting us to be playing to win. You know, expecting us to play to do the best we can and to like play the best plays and have the best setup. It's like when people will say, "Why do you have iron sights in your gun and not an ACOG?" And it's like, because I'm enjoying playing with the iron sights. It's not to win the game better. Obviously, I'm not playing with an iron sight to have a better game, but I enjoy it. And if you are a YouTuber that's making skill-based content, it's hard because you need to put together your best bits and make videos that really can either show off some brand new tactic or have some kick-ass like clutch in it or something. Whereas me and the guys, we're simply there to have fun, and if the viewers want to come along and have fun with us, then they can. Do you drink? So I am teetotal. I don't drink any alcohol. I've never been drunk in my entire life. Amazingly, that's the same with Hawkmill, same with Pyrites, it's the same with my girlfriend, and the only one who drinks out of all of us is Brian. So it's kind of odd. I think that's against the norm, which is kind of cool. Why did you decide to make Busted Rainbow Six Siege? So the Mythbusters episodes came out of a lot of what I've always done on this channel. Like, I've always kind of gone a little bit in depth on games. So making videos like on Destiny, on how to do raid solo and stuff like that. I loved going in depth and kind of picking it apart and figuring out the best ways to do something. So when Rainbow Six Siege came out, I just noticed that it was an extraordinarily complex game and I thought a lot of people might easily overlook the simple parts of the game that get lost. Because, you know, it's simple stuff like, because even like simple things like shooting out the glass on a shield, for a long time people believed that was possible. And of course, it was usually down to bad kill cams or bad hit registration. But it was needed. Like, I needed to make that series because people were on the Reddit saying that it was the case. So I had to make a video that showed that it was not. And of course, there was so much more depth to Rainbow Six Siege than I ever anticipated. So it was a completely successful series. And now here's Rainbow Six Siege going for year 2. Although I'm not entirely convinced it won't die from bugs. We'll see. Will you ever do a face reveal? It's possible, but I like secrecy. I like a little bit of mystery. And I've always liked channels that don't have face cams or face reveals. So simply I like having that kind of secrecy. Although it's not like a rule that anyone else has to follow. So like Brian, for instance, could easily put up a face reveal for me on his channel if he wanted to. And that way he could totally get that kind of exclusivity if he wanted. But I kind of like the idea that I'm just never going to show it on my channel. But it may happen, you never know. How often do you work with other YouTubers? Very, very rarely. It's surprisingly hard to coordinate any kind of YouTubers together because we are surprisingly busy, which is weird. And of course, everyone's got different schedules, which makes it very hard to coordinate people together. Like, I've had one game now with all the kind of Xbox YouTubers we have for Rainbow Six Siege, and that was cool. But I had to use like my headset, which is I got originally with my Xbox, which is an absolute piece of crap. So I think they heard like 1% of what I was saying the entire time. But it was still cool to play with them, and hopefully we'll do it again. What games will you cover? So this is always going to be what we're playing. Like, if we sit down and we want to play For Honor, we'll play For Honor. If we sit down and want to play Rainbow, we'll play Rainbow. If we get bored of something, we'll switch to something else. There's always going to be a new game coming, and we're always going to jump on it and have some fun with it. So this channel will never be dedicated to one thing or another. Now, if I was actually smart, I would dedicate it to Rainbow Six Siege. Like, Rainbow Six Siege is getting bigger and bigger every season. It's growing and growing and growing. If I was to be dedicated to just doing Rainbow Six content on this channel would grow so much faster. There is so much videos on this channel that people aren't really interested in. But the problem is I love making that content because I enjoy playing the game. So I'm always going to probably be making all this different content for different games that I just really enjoy, and it'll probably stay that way. Why are you bad at games? So I thought this was a good one to answer. So this goes back to the point that we're not trying to be good, like we're just having a lot of fun. It is very much just sitting down at the end of the day, having a relaxing game, enjoying ourselves. It's like socializing. It's like going out to the pub, but we don't go to the pub. Instead we play games. How do you record and edit? So my setup is pretty cheap. Like for getting into making YouTube videos, it's a perfect way of doing it without having to like buy a high-end PC. So what I have is an Xbox connected to an Elgato. The Elgato is then connected to a computer, and that allows me to record Xbox gameplay at 60 FPS 1080p. And because the Elgato is doing pretty much all the heavy lifting, it means you can have a pretty low-end computer. So a lot of people ask, like, why don't you play Rainbow Six Siege on the PC? And it's simply because my PC can't handle it. And like the guys, Hawkmill Pirates and Brian, they have low-end laptops. They couldn't even hope to play Rainbow Six Siege. Now my computer is a home-built kind of budget tower. It's pretty good, but it's old. So the setup I have and the way I record, it's probably like £600 in total for the whole setup. And it just makes it very easy to do, very simple, very cheap. Don't have to worry about too much. Anyone can kind of jump in at this level and do it. And then what I edit on is Adobe Premiere Pro. Why do you stream on YouTube and not Twitch? Well, the reason I don't stream on Twitch is because I'm not partnered with Twitch. Now, the way you get partners is you have to apply, and you can get partnership if you have over 100,000 subs on YouTube, or if you're bringing in a certain average viewer rate on Twitch already. But if you're not partnered, then you get a limited quality, so you can't actually stream a great quality on Twitch when you're not partnered, and that's a big no-no for me. I like streaming to YouTube because I can completely control the actual quality. The only thing holding me back is my computer, because I'm GPU rendering the encoding, whereas if I was using CPU encoding on a better higher end PC, it would be far better quality. And Twitch, for the most part, only allows partnerships from people with over 100,000 subs. So, as you might have noticed from the title of this video, we're currently sitting at 80,000. Now, it might be that Twitch will be nice and let me be partnered. And the other thing as well is I actually had a comment this week where the guy was saying, if you streamed on Twitch, I would actually donate to you. But again, I'm not partnered. So if I was on Twitch, you wouldn't actually be able to donate to me, unfortunately. Do you plan on getting a high-end PC? So the tax year in the UK finishes on April. So that'll be the first time I'm actually doing my taxes for the very first time. And it'll be my first time doing taxes for doing YouTube full time. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But once that's all done, what I'm planning to do is go into the next tax year by building a high-end PC. So I want to build like a really good PC. I'm probably going to build it with the new AMD CPU. I think that'd be really cool. But I think I'm going to have a NVIDIA GPU, because currently I've got an AMD GPU. I want to get an NVIDIA one this time around. Who is the best player out of all of you? I'd say Hawkmill's probably the best player, but the rest of us can easily end up clutching a game. Even Brian's clutched a game in ranked before. So we're all pretty much the same. And all of our skill levels are about average or just above average, I would say. And I think that pisses people off, because they're like, wow, you're making money on YouTube and you're like average skill. It's like, ooh, terrible. But anyway guys, that's the end of this Q&A. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below, and I will attempt to answer as many as I can. Thanks for watching guys, catch you next time.